Do you spend hours each week creating Instagram content, but you're still not getting the sales and the wins that you see everyone and their mom sharing to their feed? It's really rough, but there's usually just a few simple changes you need to make to get there, and I'm going to help you. You are closer than you think. You can find the exact gaps that you have in your Instagram strategy, the gaps that are holding you back from getting clients from your content with my free Find and Fix the Gaps in Your Instagram Strategy quiz. All you have to do is take 5 minutes to fill out the quiz and you'll get the exact roadmap you need to start getting sales from your Instagram content. Get your copy of the quiz at sociallyyours.biz/findandfixed. All spelled out, all one word, find and fixed, or check the link in the show notes. You ever feel like you're just tossing Instagram posts out there hoping that one will stick? That one will be the one that gets you comments or a ton of follows or even some sales? It's like you're assembling furniture without instructions. It takes a lot of time. It's basically like assembling furniture without using the directions. It takes hours only to realize at the end that something's a little off. We don't want that. So this is the third episode in the Audit for Profit series, and we're going to talk about how to audit your content just to make sure that it's really hitting the mark. So in reaching the goals that you need for the 5 steps to Instagram sales strategy. Welcome to the Mompreneur Mastery Podcast, where we share actionable Instagram strategies that fit into a busy mom schedule so that you can get more engagement, more leads, and more sales in less time. I'm Sydney O'Brien, an Instagram strategist who started my business with 3 kids under 5 and found a way to do it without sacrificing quality time with my family and only working 2 hours a day. I love helping other mom business owners find that seemingly impossible mom work-life balance instead of spending too much time creating content that isn't getting them the results they want. If you're an overwhelmed but very ambitious business owner and you want to strategize the heck out of your Instagram account so that you can save time and make more sales, you're in the right place. So in my household, I am the fixer, the builder, the putting things together. Anytime there is new furniture, anytime there's something that needs to be fixed, I am the one that does that. That is much more my skill set than my husband's. Not that I'm pro at it or anything. It's just out of the both of us, I'm somehow better. So when that happens, that is my job in our house. And I always think I can do it no problem. I don't have a ton of skills, but I'm smart. I can figure it out. This is fine. So I don't need directions. Never. I don't need to look up how to fix this toilet on YouTube. I got this. Yeah, that never actually works. Very rarely. There's always something where the legs are a little wobbly, or I run out of screws, or maybe there's extra screws. And then I realize, oh, this bookshelf is actually crooked. This toilet is still running a little bit. Things like that, because I didn't just look at the freaking directions. So I wasted a whole bunch of time that I really don't have, because honestly, while I'm fixing something or building something, my kids are in the background screaming for snacks or at each other. No one knows. But it's always happening. So I just wasted a whole bunch of time only to not get the end result that I needed, right? That is basically what posting on Instagram without auditing your content is. Instagram, we all use it every day. We think we can figure it out super easily. And maybe you can, and that's super great. But if you are like any mompreneur I know, you have a million bajillion other things on your mind. So you might be missing some stuff, right? You might not be taking the time you need to review things and kind of tweak the things that you need to be able to get the results that you need so your Instagram is actually supporting your business, that it's actually getting you sales and clients, right? So instead of a wobbly table leg or a crooked bookshelf, it's a post that was supposed to get comments for that engagement stage of your strategy, and instead it got crickets. Or maybe a post that was supposed to build trust and no one even looked at it. It's super frustrating, and it feels like a huge waste of time, especially when you have those million other things on your to-do list to do, which really just leads to burnout, right? In addition to not having your Instagram support your business. No one wants that. I don't want that for me. I don't want that for you. So let's audit our freaking content, right? Because what auditing your content does is it makes sure you know what to post, how to format it, how to phrase it, how to position it, so that you get the results you want. Because when you take that information from your content audit and align it with the 5 steps to making sales on Instagram strategy that I teach, you have all the data right there that you need. Yes, it takes time to review your insights and analyze them, but so does taking hours and hours to create and edit and share posts, but still ending up with that wobbly table or that crooked bookshelf, right? So it's a little bit of time now for like long-term hours of time and actually getting the results that you want. Doing the content audit, just make sure you have that instruction booklet with you to make sure you know how to assemble everything together to actually get the sales instead of ending up with that wobbly table. That is what keeps your Instagram strategy aligned and efficient, and most importantly, effective. So if you've gotten this far into the episode, you're like, okay, cool, but like what the heck is a content audit? It's just going through your old posts, just looking and seeing what's actually working and what's not and why, basically, so that you can change it in future posts to have it work. It's also knowing what is working so you can double down on that and use it for future posts as well. It's about finding the posts that your audience responds to and clearing out the content that's taking up space without adding value so that you can focus on the things you know your audience will like and then use that information, like I said, alongside the 5 steps to sales Instagram strategy. So you have this fully fledged strategy for sales for your specific audience, right? Because it's going to be a little bit different for every audience. Different audiences respond to different things. So doing an audit of your content makes sure that you know exactly what to post to reach each step of the strategy, how to phrase it, how to position it, so that you can go through that strategy and eventually get to the sales that you need. Instead of guessing about which piece of furniture goes where and which screw to use and why I ended up with extra screws, or maybe you're missing some by the end and having that wobbly table. It is just having the instruction book, like a super specific one just for you, just for your audience, ready to go. So you can save yourself time and make sure you are actually getting the results that you need. It's basically working smarter, not harder, which is kind of what every mompreneur needs in their life, right? Less stress, having the exact playbook you need to get the exact results that you want. Not constantly feeling like you have to test out new things just to see if it works. Not wasting time on random hacks and trends, hoping that something changes for you in your strategy, right? It's saving yourself the time and the stress and the brain space for other things. So if you're wondering, do I really need to do a content audit, or when should I do a content audit? I have a few questions to help you figure it out, okay? So the first one is, do you post pretty consistently on Instagram, but your engagement is still less than 5%? If so, it is time to audit your content. If you post pretty consistently and your growth rate is less than 3%, it's time to audit your content. If you feel disconnected from your audience, like you're not talking to each other, you're not really sure what to post that they will like, that they will appreciate, that they want to see, it is time to audit your content. If you feel like you're following all the rules of Instagram marketing, but you're still not seeing the results, either on your posts with the metrics there or in your business bank account, it's time to audit your content. So go right ahead to your profile, hit the professional dashboard button, and look at your insights. Even just look at like the last couple of posts to get a feel for things. The last 10, okay? Are you getting meaningful engagement, or are they just sitting there with no interactions? Are you asking specifically for follows and you're not getting any? Are you asking specifically for comments and not getting any? Basically, an Instagram content audit is your way of pinpointing what is falling flat and why, so you can stop doing that. It's figuring out what works for your specific audience. Without knowing what content works, you can spend hours creating and editing and sharing posts that might not actually be helping your business, which is really shitty. Like, one of my biggest annoyances in life is putting time and effort into something and it not paying off. I don't want that for you. Let's audit your content, because it's not even just for like Instagram vanity metrics, like getting the likes and the comments. But once you get those things, you can start to build on them to get the connection and trust that you need for sales. So auditing your content makes sure that the time, the effort, the brainstorming we're putting into our Instagram presence is actually getting us sales. If it's not doing that, it's a huge waste of time. If you're not noticing the patterns in your content, you're missing the chance to create more of what resonates with your audience so that your strategy actually works to help your business, that your Instagram is actually working to help your business. Because when your content doesn't align with what your followers want to see and what they need to see, which are two very different things, right? Like you might think they need to see this one topic, and they might need to, but even if it's not phrased or formatted the right way, they might scroll on by. We don't want that. You need that topic in there to show how important your work is so that they can follow the 5 steps to sales strategy and eventually convert into a client. So having your content audit, make sure you know how to phrase it, how to position it in your content so that they actually stop the scroll and consume the content and are able to go from one step to the next in that strategy for sales. Because without that, it's not going to pique their interest. They might even not even just ignore it, but they might unfollow, which would suck because not only for them, because they'll miss out on all of the amazing information you're sharing, but also it drags down your engagement rate. It tells the algorithm not to show your content to more people, which really sucks when your whole goal of using Instagram is to grow your business and get more sales. That definitely affects it. Like thinking back to that furniture analogy, think about building a bookshelf, okay? Even if you get like halfway through and you're like, man, yeah, this is going so well. This was easy. I did not need directions. But then like you get a little more into it. And the second half, it's just like you're a little iffy, but you keep plugging away anyway. You're just like, this will probably work. It could probably hold my books. And then you get to the final product, the actual bookshelf. It's finished. It's a little wobbly. You're not sure if it'll actually hold all your books because if you're like me, you've got a pretty big book collection. You just start putting them on there and then all of a sudden a shelf or two breaks. Because when you don't have that instruction booklet without that content audit, it's very easy to get lost in a cycle of posting without knowing because it feels like you're making progress and it feels like you're doing the right thing, but it doesn't get you that exact end goal that you need, right? Is what you're putting out there actually going to hold up in the long run? Because your overall Instagram strategy is like a collection of posts, and not even just posts. It's more than posts. It's your whole presence, and it all is working together to eventually lead followers into clients, right? So it's seeing these patterns when you do the content audit to make sure that you're using the right topics, the right messaging, the right format of posts, the right type of posts for each stage of your strategy so that followers can go down that path from follower to client. That is what is going to get you the perfect bookshelf. That is what is going to get you those sales, those clients. When you focus on what you know your audience likes and responds to, you'll see more interactions. And those interactions leads to more connection. It can lead to more trust, which leads to the sales, right? Because if you're not familiar, engagement is step 2 of the 5 steps to sales strategy that I teach. Connection is 3 and trust is 4. 5 is obviously sales. So you use those interactions to get through each of those steps to the final result of sales. So you need that. And then when you know how to get it and when to post it according to that strategy, according to those trends that you saw in your insights, that is how you make sure that your content is doing the thing it needs to and helping your business without wasting your super valuable time. You know then what posts are going to get you the follows when you share it, when you need those follows and you need that visibility at the beginning point of your strategy. That is what sets the foundation for the rest of your strategy for sales to actually work. Then you're able to craft posts with intention so they are much more likely to drive followers into taking action, whether it's, joining your email funnel, commenting, or actually buying something from you. The audit makes all the difference, so you know what to do and when. A couple of months ago, I actually did a mini content audit for a Mompreneur coach, and within just 2 weeks of focusing on the changes I suggested from her content audit, she saw her engagement go up 30%, which was pretty incredible for that long, because not only now is she getting that engagement, but now she knows exactly what to do from there to turn that engagement into connection, turn that connection into trust, turn that trust into sales for her business. So when we do an audit, here's an example of some things to look at in your insights, okay? Because like I said, all the data you need to do an audit is right there in your Instagram insights. So take a look at posts and you can filter the posts by certain metrics. Take a look at the ones that have lots of saves and lots of shares, because those are the ones that the topic itself, the information in there is super valuable. For someone to want to share something or save it, to come back to it at a later date, to reread it and re-get that information is huge for Instagram. So that is a topic worth repeating and sharing in new ways. I also want you to take a look at posts that got lots of comments. And we're not just going to look at topics when we do this. We also want to look at the format of the post, what kind of post it is. Like, is it a storytelling post? Is it a case study? Is it mostly about pain points, or is it about helping them reach a goal? How is it positioned in the post? What about it is getting people to comment? And how can you use that in future posts to get more comments, to get the connection and trust, to all of those steps that you need to get sales? And again, when we're looking at type of posts, you can see what type of post gets you the most follows. For me, I know usually when I share a post with like a hard-hitting quote on it that is very specific to mompreneurs, my audience, it normally gets shares, and that normally results in more follows. So anytime I'm at that beginning stage of my 5 steps to sales strategy, those are the posts I'm going to share to get new followers. That can be new leads for my business, right? Because I've done the content audit. I know what to share and when to get the results that I need for my business. And maybe you're not getting great results, and that's fine. If certain posts fall flat, I'm going to look at those too. I'm going to look at, maybe it's the format. Maybe it's the timing. Maybe it's the messaging, the positioning, how I presented the topic. You can refine it based on your insights and then repurpose it and share it again. Because a lot of the time, it's not that your post idea was bad. It's just that it needs a little bit of tweaking. So the execution of it is done in a way that will really resonate with your audience and inspire them to take action on the post. So you can see a ton of data, all in insights, ready for you to look and analyze and apply to your own strategy in so many ways. And again, I know it seems really, really time consuming, but it is something that just makes sure that all of the time and effort and the planning and the creating that you're already putting into your Instagram is actually getting you the results you want, right? No one wants the wobbly table that's going to break when your kids inevitably sit on it, or the bookshelf that's going to fall apart and then you have to buy a new one. You want to do it once, you want to do it right. This is how you do it. And if all of this has you wondering what is really happening with your content, I have something perfect coming your way for Black Friday, because it is not just a content audit, it is a full Instagram strategy audit, because your whole Instagram strategy isn't just what you post. It's different ways you interact with your audience, with other people on Instagram, DMs, stories, all of the things. That is what a strategy is. And that is what we are going to audit. This is not something I market publicly because it is such an in-depth process, but it is something that I know mompreneurs really should have to make sure that they're not wasting time on their content. And having that very clear roadmap of what to do and when just makes it so your strategy is actually leading to sales. And because it is such an in-depth process, and I myself, like you, am a very busy mom business owner, I am limiting how many people can buy it. I only have 7 spots, but it is super discounted, and I'm so excited to share it with you next week. So if you're not, make sure you're on my email list so you get that information, or head back here next week to listen to that episode, and the link will be in the show notes then, so I can help you make sure that you have everything you need to make sure your Instagram is working for you and not against you. And like I said, if you want to look at doing a content audit yourself, just take like 5 minutes and scroll back through your last couple of posts and look at what ones got traction and which ones fell flat. Look at how much reach they got. If your posts aren't getting much reach, you might need to work on stronger hooks or using more keywords in your content to make sure that it's getting out there to both more followers and non-followers. So take a look at your last 10 posts or so, and then send me a message on Instagram with your biggest takeaway. What did you learn from it? What insights did you glean from your insights? Or even if you do it and you're not really sure what you're looking at, send me a post and we can look at it together. Send me a screenshot of the insights along with the post, and I'll give you some things to look at. Again, my handle is at socially.yours.strategist. And thank you so much for listening, and I will be back in your earbuds next week with the next part of the Audit for Profit series. Imagine knowing exactly what to post and when to get more sales. No more guessing, no more hoping, no more crossing your fingers, just knowing what to post so that your content connects with your audience, builds trust, and converts them into paying clients. I'm making some big changes to my Post with Purpose membership, and the biggest one is that now, each week, members will get 5 strategized and timely post prompts so they have a strategy for sales without having to spend hours scrolling Instagram for inspiration or brainstorming content ideas. This week, members are getting post prompts that prep their audience for Black Friday offers so that when they share them to Instagram in a few weeks, their followers are ready to whip out their credit cards and buy. Get access to weekly post prompts and everything else you need for an Instagram strategy that actually gets you sales before the price goes up on November 8th. Head to the link in the show notes to join today.